Support your locals, starting with Space Smoke Shop, located on 125 East Pennington Street, Tucson, Arizona.
Space Smoke Shop features local glass, cheap tobacco, and any drink you can think of. We're also a hookah lounge and a venue. Like us on Facebook to keep up with shows, deals, and products.
Don't forget, every second and fourth Tuesday is Punk Rock Tuesday at Space Smoke Shop, 125 East Pennington Street, located in downtown Tucson, Arizona. And be sure to tell them that you heard about them on the GMR Podcast. GMR. You're listening to the GMR Podcast. You can hear the GMR Podcast on Stitcher. Stitcher is radio on demand. Download the free app today. Listen anytime, anywhere.
Create custom playlists. Over 20,000 shows to discover. Rate and review my show, the GMR Podcast, on Stitcher. Available on iOS, Android, Nook, and iPad.
On demand and on the go. No downloading, no syncing, no wasted memory. Stream your favorite podcast. Don't have Stitcher? Download it free today at Stitcher.com or in the App Store.
GMR. 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 GMR.
Were there records before radio?
Have we started the podcast?
Yeah, why not?
There were records way before radio. No, that's not going to work. Oh, wow, you made it work.
Well, for now, anyway.
Look at you.
Well, I've been experimenting with it.
Oh, you've been...
Hi, we have a new digital recorder device we're trying this week, so...
That's why the audio sounds weird.
A little different. So you were watching the Mickey Rooney movie about it.
No, I know there's a recorder there. Now I'm all like clamming up, dude. Clamming up.
I should just turn it on and not say anything.
That's what you should do. That's what I'm suggesting in the future.
If you're in my room, you're always being recorded.
Minute one, you're just recording everything, because I know you have the discretion to record, to eliminate...
It makes it easier to edit, and you don't have to sit through 4 hours of,
Well, what do you mean, when we do
raw
it
footage.
normally?
If I were to record everything, how many hours I'd have to...
Okay, but I mostly get excited.
But to record earlier...
When I first get here,
yeah.
I haven't seen you in a week. I have all these stories I need to tell you. I just found out the Ultimate Warrior died.
Yeah, that's crazy.
The Ultimate Warrior. I first saw this dude in World Class Championship Wrestling as the Dingo Warrior. And the best match I ever saw was him versus Rick Rude. I'd also gotten VCR because it was right near my birthday.
Remember VCRs?
So my uncle had bought a VCR for my birthday, even though it was really for him, so I could record wrestling for him.
Ah, yes.
Right, because he lived out in the boonies in Cochise, Arizona, which is out in the boonies. I don't know if you've ever been to Cochise, Arizona, but you've heard of Cochise.
Oh yeah.
You've heard of Arizona.
Yes.
Anyway, it's a town near Fort Huachuca, out near Wilcox, by that dry lake bed. You ever drove by that dry lake bed? It looks like there's a lake there because it's just it's flat. And then there's also people who say they've seen ships on that lake, like there's some sort of mirage or something. Because the lake effect is a mirage to begin with, and then if you're seeing ships on it, you're fucking loony.
That's true.
So the Ultimate Warrior, wow, Hall of Fame, Raw, dead as a doornail.
And WrestleMania 30, he showed up at also in there, right?
Well, he walked out.
Wow.
I couldn't believe they put him on Raw the next night because everybody, in the wrestling community, I'm listening to about 15 wrestling podcasts a week at least. So let's say that's 15, 17 hours at least of wrestling talk.
That's
a
more
week.
than actual wrestling going
That
on.
is. It's hard to keep up on. I tell you what, you got to really focus. You got to be dedicated. And I'm not nearly as dedicated as a lot of people. But this dude, the Ultimate Warrior, is a nut. Back in the day, he changed his name legally to the Warrior for whatever reason, so nobody could screw with him. And he's also a conservative who goes out and gives what are those speeches called when you motivational speeches about conservatism. Oh, these are on the internet. I'm sure anybody who knows about what I'm talking about. I don't think I'm going to find anybody out there. Maybe there's a couple people who'll be like, hey, let me check out the Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, go to YouTube.
If you really want to see the Ultimate Warrior, I say check out Dingo Warrior. Google that. Marty, will you Google that and see how many hits Dingo Warrior comes up with? Because that's good stuff. He started out with Sting as the Blade Runners. He was Rock. And Sting was, what the hell was Sting called? Flash. Rock and Flash. There you go. See that picture right there? Rock and Flash.
Yeah, this is just a random video. Only been watched 15,000 times.
Only 15.
It's only been up since February. So.
Oh, there you go. God damn it. Wow, watching this. Look at it. Who do you think is going to win? These two fucknut looking guys? Right? These are guys? No. I've never ever seen this, dude. Let me recommend the WWE Network. Sign up for $9.99.
Then you get it all, and you get it in high quality.
Yeah,
you're
you're probably
supporting
watching
everybody.
whatever we're watching because I see a logo on this.
Oh, I'm sure that's where whoever posted it got it.
Oh, look at this motherfuckers. These are young kids.
That's way before they became who they became.
They were nobody then.
Yeah.
Nobody. This could even be day one. They're throwing out there. Look at them though.
Because it said they were the Blade Runners. So.
Yeah, that is Flash and Rock. The Ultimate Warrior was Rock, and Sting is Flash.
Way before The Rock.
You know what would have been awesome if Sting had somehow inducted the Ultimate Warrior, because they'd started out together. They had led parallel careers as well. I remember when the Ultimate Warrior was champion, Sting was the WCW champion, the NWA champion. So they led parallel careers. It was really strange. These two guys. I bet that makes Sting. I bet everybody must have freaked out that the Ultimate Warrior just died. We just saw him yesterday. He was just here yesterday. He looked pretty healthy. I don't know what you call looking bad, right? But he looked a lot better than me. Makes you question your mortality when you look, you know. But who knows the backstory about this guy? Who knows what was really going on? You don't drop dead overnight. Some people do, I guess. You get scared. Maybe saw like a cat jumped out at him real fast. And he went, ah! Freaks fuck out, right? That could happen. Look at this.
Yeah, that's already over.
That's over. There was a squash match.
The guy didn't even try to do the shoulder thing at 2.
Oh, look, one's shaking the top rope, one's shaking the bottom rope. Wow. And he kind of clipped his face on the top rope. You see that?
Yeah.
But you know what? You're a wrestler. You just suck it up, dude. You suck it the fuck up. No, we're looking for Dingo Warrior versus Rick Rude.
Alright.
Anyway, so there's lots of Ultimate Warrior stuff, and I bet these videos are going to, the views are going to skyrocket.
Oh, yeah.
in the next week or two.
This one's at 90,000.
Once it becomes public knowledge. I mean, it's knowledge now, but once they announce that shit, because
they said the next Raw is going to be nothing but tribute episode, and
of
course, yeah.
That's good for him, because he was so not in their loop for so many years.
Yeah, he might have just died. They would have been like, oh, yeah, we remember him, but since he came back into it...
Vince McMahon's wife inducted him into the Hall of Fame. I heard that she wrote him letters. He lived at their house for a while. He would stay at their house. All right, we got to go way back. We got to go Dingo Warrior. Dude.
And they just had the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction last night where Nirvana got put in there.
Well, finally.
But of course, they didn't perform.
Who showed up?
Hall & Oates.
No.
Kiss didn't even
Grohl
show
was
up.
there, Dave Grohl?
Supposedly none of them showed up.
Nobody?
But then I heard another story. It was them with Joan Jett.
Oh, that'd be a tight show.
So I guess we'll see if what happened. I still haven't heard what's what. But.
Joan Jett. Just imagine, back in the day, if they said, "Hey, Kurt, fuck you." Right? We're going to go with Joan. Joan wants to be in
I
this
wrote
band.
all the songs,
Oh,
though.
fuck it, but Joan. She's Joan Jett. Come on, guy. Why don't you help out the band? We can make money with Joan Jett.
It's like that movie she did with Michael J. Fox, where they were in a band. I saw Joan Jett open for Robert Plant once.
This is so not the Dingo Warrior. This is the Ultimate Warrior versus Rick Rude.
This is all I could find.
Oh.
Quickly anyway.
Dingo. Did you enter Dingo?
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's synonymous with Ultimate Warrior. Let me just say this in retrospect. He wasn't that good of a technical wrestler. That's what I'm saying. The best match I saw was when he was in World Class Championship Wrestling versus Rick Rude, who's known as he'll bring out the best in you. You know what I mean? Hard to have a bad match with Rick Rude. But back then, he was actually using wrestling holds. You know what I mean? He was still young. He was still a young guy who was learning the business. And then he got signed with the WWF. And he realized, why, I only have to do 5 or 6 moves. And I'm just, people are just as happy. So why should I do all these other fucking moves? Anyway, that's what I think. That's what the WWE does to people. They put them in little boxes, and then you got to work within that box. Sometimes the box gets boring. But I was a huge Ultimate Warrior fan back in the day. I saw one of his first appearances at a TV taping here in town.
8 weeks till ComiCon.
It is 8 weeks to ComiCon.
That's creeping up.
What do you think about the new Constitution? You heard about this? Heard about this thing? It's pretty sweet.
Wasn't there a song by The Who that had something to do with that?
Yeah, let's reference that.
They've, like I told you a few days ago, MacGyver himself is
Oh,
going to
what's
be
his
there.
name?
Richard Dean Anderson of Stargate fame.
Wow.
But they haven't announced anybody else yet, but there's still all these blank spots where more people to be announced. With 8 weeks to go. GMR Podcast.
Why don't you guys listen while I roll a cigarette?
Yeah, there's no mic sound anymore. If we do it this way, there's no...
What do you mean, mic sound?
You know, when you're rattling the mic.
I rattle the mic, is that what you're saying?
Anybody. And
So
another,
you're not pointing me out as a mic rattler.
and another thing that could happen is you get the
Mark.
put sounds, and those go through the roof. That's probably far enough away. Although, when you get loud, you can see it peak.
Yeah? Like that?
A little red light goes on.
Like that?
Yeah, it tells you when you're being too loud.
Alright, cool. I think you're being too loud.
Sound effects. I was for a second there.
Let's not even look at that light then. Let's not think about that. I think that means we're being cool. You made cool level when he makes that light, dude. Something. I'm almost done rolling this cigarette. So how do you know when we've done enough show, though? You have to get over here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of glare on that screen, bro. I was thinking about listening to, like, a year ago podcast and trying relating it to this podcast.
52 weeks ago today.
Whistle Pigs. No, that was... Whistle Pigs was a while ago, dude. That was Groundhog Day. Why else would we talk whistle pigs? Unless it were Groundhog Day.
Exactly. So a year ago today, roughly, we did... A year ago...
This week?
This week was show 11. The show we redid, I think.
That's when I bought that fan that night?
Yeah. Strange. Says we were counting down to Phoenix ComiCon 2013. And we talked about Incredible Hulk TV movies. Which I think we were talking about last week.
So what do you think about these new Netflix shows, dude?
Well, it could be
You're going to have
interesting.
Daredevil. You're going to have Iron Man. Power Fist. No, Iron Fist and Power Man. That's two totally different things, yeah. And then there are a couple other ones, and then they're going to link them all Avenger style and call them the Defenders. Fuck, I could eat that for fucking breakfast every day, dude. Even though I don't watch, I'm not able to watch S.H.I.E.L.D. The S.H.I.E.L.D. or fucking whatever the fuck it's called.
I've heard that's tying into the movies now. Like tying into Captain America.
Oh, I want to see that. Let's go see that right now.
Yeah.
As soon as this is
spend
over,
all
dude.
the money. 8 weeks to Comic-Con.
There are so many movies that
So
are
many to
coming
choose
out.
from.
We should just go.
And now it's time for the after show.
And we're back.
So the Ultimate Warrior's dead. Ric Flair's alive. Go figure, right? I don't know what to say. Brock Lesnar beat the Undertaker. Oh, we're Daniel Bryanson, whatever the fuck his name is these days, made Batista tap out. Pretty sweet. The Ultimate Warrior. This is like the only time I've really gotten to talk wrestling on the podcast. Every other time I'm like, hey, Marty, I want to talk about some wrestling. You're like, well, no. And then I don't. But this is a pretty significant week in pop culture. I mean, these guys are mainstream guys, right? Ultimate Warrior. Mm-hmm. How could you go through your life without hearing about the Ultimate Warrior? Although, obviously, the Undertaker losing at WrestleMania isn't. You can't compare that to the Ultimate Warrior just dropping dead like a couple 100 miles from us, right up the road.
I haven't seen Honky Tonk Man's name on the roster.
Oh, that's sad, because I heard he was at a couple cons, like down in the South and shit. So you think it'd just be an easy one for him to come to Phoenix, right? Because he just lives right there in Gilbert. He lives up here. You think that'd be a lot easier? Maybe he doesn't make any money here in his own, you know? Because I personally have seen him 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
And I've never given him $1. So that's not that cool, right?
Yeah, but we barely had enough money to get up there and back.
To buy our ticket. People don't understand. It's not cheap going to Comic-Con.
No. We couldn't afford to go to one in another state, but since it's up in Phoenix, it makes it doable. Because that would just be too expensive. It'd be like Coachella money.
If you had bet on
Which is also going on right now.
Alright, this is the after show. If you had bet on Brock Lesnar, if you could have found someone who would take that bet, they had it 11-1 in Vegas. That's solid money. I love it when a guy goes out on his back. Is that happening this weekend?
Yeah, I think that's going on right now.
Right now? That's where we ought to be, huh?
Yep, getting ready to watch Motorhead.
Oh, yeah. Fuck that. Look at those people. Fuck that, dude.
Wow.
I don't want to be there. What do you think about that?
It's nuts, dude. It's nuts. It's like Comic-Con, but for music.
I heard there might be 200,000 people at Davis Mountain this weekend because they're having an air show. 200,000.
Oh yeah, I saw some of that air show. When I was driving around, I thought something had fallen out of the sky and crashed.
And you saw these
and
guys.
I was like, what the fuck was that? And then it went right back up and turned around. And
Mark said he saw like a plane do like that, sort of just
that
fall.
shit scares me. Yeah.
It's just a technique they use.
Whew. What are you doing, you fucking...
We're crazy. You ever see that show, Iron? What was it? With Tom Cruise?
Oh, Top Gun.
Iron Eagle?
Iron Eagle, the ripoff of Top Gun, yeah.
Okay, Top Gun. It was Top Gun. Why'd it go Iron Eagle? Those guys, and you never saw any shit like what you're describing, like something just falling out of the sky.
Yeah, that freaked me out.
Oh, it's like alien shit. What's going on, man? But yeah, this weekend a big air show, so you must have seen them practicing. So Mark Brady has the WWE Network. I went over there and watched WrestleMania. It's pretty sweet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And what are you looking at there, man?
Well, you can stream Coachella. You can watch it as it's happening. I was just seeing who's playing later. Anyways, that's probably it for this week. And we'll be back.
8 weeks Comic-Con.
Yeah, it'll be 7 weeks, and then we're going to start panicking at that point.
Yeah. This has been Gene Mott.
And Marty Catola.
Because we never say our names anymore.
Yeah. GMR.